ask me what happened, I'm still learning how to say it. 20 years, and somehow I'm still here. I learned to whisper before I learned to scream. Learned to hide my tears inside my dreams. I learned that footsteps could sound like thunder, and a closing door could make my whole body shake. I was just a little girl with nowhere left to run, so I became invisible and pretended I was none. I built a little world inside my head, because the one I lived in was killing me instead. And nobody knew how many nights I begged the darkness to let me disappear. Nobody knew how many times I held my breath and waited for the fear. I lived through hell, and hell still lives in me. 20 years of ghosts and locked doors, 20 years of begging to be free. I learned to smile while something inside me died. I learned to say I'm okay while I was screaming from the inside. I lived through hell, and somehow I survived. But nobody tells you surviving the fire doesn't mean you don't still smell the smoke. Sometimes there are days I hate the mirror because she looks like me, but her eyes still hold the little girl I tried so hard to bury underneath. She still waits for someone to find her, still wonders what she did wrong, still thinks if she'd been better, maybe they wouldn't have hurt her for so long. God, she was only a child, she shouldn't have known that kind of pain. She shouldn't have learned to associate love with being afraid. And sometimes when the night gets quiet, I can hear them again. The voices, the footsteps, the memories, they crawl through my head like they never ended. I lived through hell, and hell still knows my name. 20 years of carrying secrets that were never mine to blame. I learned to disappear when someone looked my way. I learned to apologize for things I never did in the first place. I lived through hell, and somehow I'm alive. But some nights I can't tell the difference between surviving and just being too afraid to die. Maybe that's what hurts the most. I don't remember who I would have been before the fear, before the scars, before I learned to lock my heart. There was a girl inside of me. She used to laugh, she used to dream, she used to believe the world could be kind. I wonder if she would recognize me. I wanna tell her I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry you had to become strong when you should have been allowed to be small. I'm sorry you thought it was your fault. It never was, it never ever was. I lived through hell, I lived through hell, I lived didn't tell her to be quiet. I just held her and whispered, you survived 20 years of hell. And somehow, I'm still